Hello, I'm Mrs. Vana and I teach Algebra 1. This is my third year teaching, and I've done all of my teaching at Sabino High School. I graduated with my bachelor's degree from Western Governors University, and I plan to finish my master's in learning and technology by the end of October. I'm married, I have three kids: 8-year-old Jeffrey, 4-year-old Olivia, and 1-year-old Zoe. My motto for the students is always to set yourself up for success. No matter what happens in life, do what you can to make sure that you've done everything possible to be successful. I do everything in my power to give the students the tools and the support that they need to help them set themselves up for success. Some of the tools we will use over the school year while we're on this in this online environment is Clever. That's where most of the students, they're pretty familiar with this at this point. It's like a one-stop shop, a single sign-in. They go through Clever to get to basically everything else that we use. Teams is where students will see and turn in most of their assignments from my class and maybe for other classes as well. iExcel is a good practice tool. I had students do the diagnostics there, and that helped me find out where they stand as far as math is concerned, where they're struggling. This is also a good practice tool. It gives good repetition for something that students might be struggling in. I'll talk about my YouTube videos a little bit more in a moment, but at the end of most of my YouTube videos, I say that they can get more practice, and then I tell them where to go in iExcel to get that practice. And then we also use Zoom. That's where we meet. That's our online classroom area. So, the way class is structured in this online environment is the first 30 minutes we do a whole class Zoom meeting. This is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We have a different schedule for Wednesday. But the first 30 minutes we have a whole class Zoom. I do examples, we do reviews together, I check in with them, whatever the schedule is for that day. And then after that 30 minutes, I let them do whatever they need to do independently to be successful. Sometimes that might be working on missing assignments. Sometimes I'll have an assignment for them to do that day. It might include watching the YouTube video of what we just went over, or maybe watching a YouTube video of what we're going to be doing the next day in class. And I put up a weekly assignment calendar in Teams so that they can find all of those YouTube videos. They can see what we're going to be doing in class. They can see what their homework's going to be throughout the week. That's all going to be in Teams. On Wednesdays, we have a little bit of a different day. It's an early release day so that the faculty can do their professional development. So the students get out an hour early for that. On Wednesdays, we just check in for attendance. They come in, I get them, I mark them as being there, and then they can work on that assignment for the day. Maybe it's a mini quiz, maybe it's a review sheet, maybe it's a page in their textbook that they can work on. But there's always an assignment that day that really typically should be done that day during class time, but they don't have to stay in Zoom or talk to me to get it done. If students have specific questions for me, they want to work on more examples with me, they can definitely stay during that asynchronous time. So the last half hour in most class days, or on Wednesdays all day, I have asynchronous time. So they can stay during that time, talk to me individually. Sometimes a few people might stay around so we can do more of a small group setting, a small group like tutoring session where we do more examples. It just depends on the day, who stays around, what kinds of questions they have. Um, if they just have a quick question, they don't want to stay during asynchronous time, or it comes up maybe after class is out, they can email me, send me a quick question, and we can communicate that way. Or if they need something more one on one, they don't want to risk anybody else staying after, and they want more one on one time, they can email me and we can set up a time either before school or at lunch that we can talk about their specific situation or do specific tutoring for them. So while we're online, I'm trying to keep it to 2 assignments or 2 grades per week, and that's it. During the normal in class school year, I normally give homework every night except for the day of an assessment or the day before an assessment. If they're taking a test or a quiz, they've already got enough on their mind. The night before should just be doing whatever they need to do to study for it. Well, we have review and stuff. Um, I give them a review sheet that we do even before then, and they can use that to study or study however they want. But I don't give homework those days. But when we're in class with math, a lot of times repetition is key. So when we're in class and they have me right there next to them, I do give homework every night except for those specific days. But in the online environment, just 2 grades per week. So the topics that we're going to be covering, so this is what's scheduled for the first quarter: equations, inequalities, and functions. Second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. I honestly am not too worried about making sure we hit everything. We'll talk about statistics and probability again with them in a later school year. So if we don't quite get to quarter four because of slowing down the pace for the online environment or whatever we need to do, then that's fine. I really hope that we can get through quadratic equations and functions and comparing functions. That's all really important that I would like to get through before the end of the school year. But right now, we're just going to go as whatever pace we need to go to get through while we're in this environment. Communication is key. So please make sure you email me with any questions, comments, concerns. And there's my email. And I hope you have a great evening and please stay safe.